Hey guys, how's it going? Philip, a Trade Genius. Before we get into today's video about Tether and Bitfinex, wanted to just remind you guys we do have our specials the last day of the specials and then they expire. But we've marked down considerably our packages, especially if you want to get into the crypto room with us. And so that would be package number 1. So anyway, just thought I would remind you guys the last day of that. All right, so today we find out that Tether and Bitfinex got subpoenaed. And so what does that mean? Well, if you guys, most of you already know, but if you don't know, Tether is basically a proxy for the US dollar. So it makes it so that exchanges that don't deal in dollars are able to give you a dollar equivalent. So the way it works is the company that issues Tether is supposed to be backing each Tether by $1. So right now there's several $billion of Tether in circulation. So they should have a couple of $1 billion in US dollars. The problem with this is they haven't been audited. Now they were working on an audit, and as we brought up in yesterday's video, this dissolved. So there's some tension as far as what's going on. And now on the heels of that, we find out that US regulators have subpoenaed both Bitfinex and Tethers. So basically, no one really knows, and we don't know until some more information comes out what's going on. Ultimately, if you're going to be using a dollar-backed crypto proxy for a dollar, you better have those dollars sitting somewhere because these people are just making these tethers, right? So if more money comes in or more people want to buy tethers with fiat, they're issuing tethers based on the amount of fiat that they hold. So it's centralized in that regard, right? This kind of goes against the ethos of crypto or Bitcoin as a decentralized currency. These guys are controlling the currency, so no one really knows. And unlike Bitcoin, where you have an open blockchain and open ledger, no one really knows what's going on behind the scenes. They're just saying, yeah, we've got this much backing it. So if it comes out that they don't have the money, or they've been pilfering the funds that should be backing tethers, that could be a real issue. Now, people have been, concerned about, well, is this going to affect the market badly? The thing with that is you've got to understand how much cap there is. When I say cap, I mean market cap. So how much tethers are in existence. And so what we can do is we can look at coin market cap, and we can see where you'll see that the amount of tethers we have, let's switch over to that chart real quick, okay, is just over 2 billion. And if we zoom in on this graph here, so we've actually seen the market cap come down, most likely because people have been getting out of their tethers and dumping it. So, but before that, they were up at like 2.2 billion. So that's how much they should have sitting in an account. That's a lot of money, especially since September. They were down to about, I think it was 400 million in cap. So that'd be a lot of money pretty quick in the last few months that they'd be receiving and holding. But there are no controls. There's no blockchain checks to understand or realize how much fiat they're actually holding. And that's the big issue. So our recommendation is that, basically don't hold your funds. If you want to go to cash, you're gonna have to really go to dollars. If you're holding any amount in tethers, that could be a risky proposition, because if it dissolves or whatever, the exchanges stop using it, it goes bye-bye, you're going to be out all that money. So our recommendation is don't hold tethers. It would at the very best be a very transitory thing where you're doing a quick swing trade or something like that, but to hold it for any length of time is very, very risky until they come out with an audit. All right. As far as market cap goes, so there's about 2 billion currently in circulation, and if we look at the total market cap, we're over 500 billion. So it's a very, very small percentage of the crypto market cap. And so if they dissolved, really what's going to happen is this: people are going to get out of tethers and get into another crypto, and or sell their tethers on an exchange that converts tethers to dollars. They'll get out that way. But like I said, or they're on an exchange that doesn't deal with dollars, they're going to get out of their tethers and buy Bitcoin. So earlier in the week, you saw Bitcoin tether-based exchanges like Bitfinex, Poloniex, Binance. All those exchanges, the price of Bitcoin was much higher, over 12,000, when other fiat exchanges like GDAX and Kraken were lower by about $500. So you saw that dynamic there. But then as people get out of that, if they're worried about the whole crypto space, sometimes that's the knee-jerk reaction. They will find a way to get back into dollars and get out of the space completely until they feel like the dust settles. So I don't think it will cause some waves, but again, the market cap is such a small percentage of the overall market cap in crypto, and I don't think it's really going to be any kind of catastrophic event. So that being said, if we look at Bitcoin, now this is a big picture Bitcoin, and this move, when we broke this trend line, that was part of the news yesterday about it, tethers and all this other stuff, Bitfinex getting subpoenaed. And that actually happened on December 6th too, by the way. So this is just information that got leaked out. So this isn't like they got subpoenaed yesterday. We just kind of found out about it. But they claim that happens regularly. I think it's probably, who knows, it could be a whistleblower. There's probably something going on where there's smoke, there's fire. So I just, recommendation is, if you're on Bitfinex, be careful. And if you're holding tethers, probably best to either get out of them completely or get into another crypto if you're looking to reposition or get into dollars. But this was this down move here, and we broke this trend line that was kind of holding this bottoming formation that we were in. So that's broken. So now that broke down, I could hear the drums of we're going to 7,000 beaten loud and clear on the interwebs. I still maintain that this heavy cluster of fibs is going to be hard to get through. What would change my tune is if we take out this low, and I'm basing this on GDAX, Coinbase. If we took out this low of 9,000, that would light up this other chart here we've got, where see these fib zones down here, 7,076. Those would actually come into play. Now, that being said, we do have, this is a zoomed in 4-hour chart. This is a candle count indicator by Tom DeMark. And essentially what happens is when you get a 9 count, that's not always, but an indicator that you've hit oversold and you're looking at a bounce. And we have kind of made a little bottom here. These are all getting sold off. So if we got up to this trend line here at about 10,990, almost 11,000, that would probably bring in the shorts again, unless we saw a lot of buying conviction come into the market. For me, this is what I'm looking at, guys. If we break 11,700 on GDAX, okay, on the GDAX exchange, if we break above 11,700, we're going higher. That's my call. We're going to go higher, and I think that all this activity down here at this level is done. If we don't do that, we keep chopping and keep chopping, then it's going to, the longer we chop or hang around these lows, the higher the probability that we do actually break this prior low here at 9,000, and then we could actually hunt down to those levels. I still think that this is going to buoy, and if I'm wrong, I'll admit it, but I still think this is going to hold up, and we do turn up. The other thing is, on a 4-hour chart, if you look previously here, when we've been oversold here, and we've got it here, we do get a bump. So that bumped up there about to the trend line, and this bumped up here but to the trend line. So it wouldn't take much of a move to get back to that trend line there. So very short-term view here, guys, and we're talking like the next 24 hours. It is possible we'll get a bump and a run to this 11,000 level, but I do expect bears to come in, at least try to push that back down again, and that to me is going to be an interesting test. So that's kind of the short-term outlook here for Bitcoin. Again, I don't think the Tether or the Bitfinex subpoena is a huge deal. The Bitfinex exchange probably would be more dramatic, as they not only do they deal with Tether, but all several other different cryptocurrencies. They don't have a huge selection, but they do have a selection, and they have been around a while, so they do a lot of volume. So you could see some shakeup there, or people moving out of that. But again, that would just be shifting cryptos to another exchange and stuff like that. So again, I don't think the market cap of tethers is enough to really do a whole lot of damage. It's just a risk for you holding it more than anything else. All right, guys, well, that's it on this one. Just thought we'd cover that issue and let you guys know that the sun will rise again, and I think this risk will be contained, but do be careful if you are dealing with tethers. All right, guys, I'll catch you on the next video. Thanks for watching. Please hit the subscribe button and like if you find these videos helpful. It really helps us out. All right, guys, take care. Thanks for watching. Bye.